Welcome back, guys. Today I'm going to show you how easy it is to install a tow hitch to your Land Rover Discovery Sport right at home on your driveway. There's no need for fancy tools or workshop. This is a job that you can easily do yourself in just a few simple steps. To begin with, you need to remove the rear plastic cover on the back of the bumper. This is just held in with a few plastic clips, and quite a simple job. It just requires a bit of force and ideally a trim removal tool. You can then remove the metal tray that's hidden underneath this. It has a few screws holding this on. Once this is removed, we'll need to go over to the wheel arches and undo the screws that hold the wheel arch trims into place. We can now start to remove the back bumper. You'll need to pry this off using a trim removal tool. You also need to remove the plastic panels that are above the rear bumper because these are holding the bumper in place, and it is very fiddly. You won't be able to get the bumper off very easily with this in place. This does have a screw holding it on, which is hidden behind the boot lid. Once both sides are removed, the bumper should come away from the vehicle pretty easily. Be aware that the parking sensors will be held on by a cable on the right hand side of the bumper, so just be careful not to damage that cable. I left mine plugged in while I did this task and just put the bumper to one side. Now I opted for a fixed tow bar, and this tow bar did come with a standard universal wiring kit. So I've now got to remove the rear crash bar and then drop exhaust down and loosen the heat shields just to get the space in there to be able to affix the tow bar bracket to the back of the chassis. I did have an awful lot of trouble removing this one bolt that was holding in the tow eye on the back of the vehicle, and unfortunately for some reason I didn't manage to film the removal of it, so I do apologise, it skipped past that. There's a metal bracket that slides into the chassis, and then these brackets bolt underneath the chassis into that frame. This is what's going to hold the tow bar on each side of the vehicle. All the torque settings for these bolts are normally in the user manual, so just check that when installing so that you can torque these to the right amount. Now when you get to the stage of fitting the bar that goes across both sides, it is a lot easier if you have another set of hands to help you, but unfortunately I didn't, so I just struggled a bit to put this on. Once the bar is in place, I moved on to the wiring. So what I did was I pushed one of the grommets out from the bottom of the boot. I'm just going to cut a hole into it, and then I'm going to feed the wiring through that and feed it up into the boot. With the wiring out the way, I can now put the heat shields back in place before putting the exhaust back onto its brackets. At this stage, I'm going to put the back bumper back on and the two plastic panels on either side of the vehicle, and then we're going to go ahead and start looking at the wiring. So let's... It's just basically a reverse of removing it. It's pretty simple to get it all back into place. Now, just to bear in mind that two of the wires are going to be slightly different because there is a buzzer that's going in with this kit. Although I don't actually think it's needed on the Land Rover because you do have that light on the dashboard that flickers when you indicate. And obviously, even using the generic wiring loom for the tow bar, as long as it's wired into this wiring loom that's in the boot, you'll be able to get that light on the dashboard. Now, with regards to the wiring, essentially we're going to be colour matching all the wires with the ones that are currently going to the plug socket. But one thing we have to bear in mind is because we are putting a beeper in this line, two of the wires are going to be different. So when it comes to the indicators, we have to wire those in a bit differently. Okay, so black on the relay went to the earth on here, brown went into left hand indicator, blue into right hand indicator. The indicators obviously went to this audible relay, and then these just match up with the colours accordingly, and black and brown went into this one. So I use this device to test it. Now finally I'm on the last bit where all I have to do is fit the swan neck tow bar and the 7-pin socket ready for the tow trailer. So now it's just a matter of neatening up all this wiring. I'm going to tuck it around, feed it along, and cable tie it up. So thank you guys for tuning into this video. If you do have any questions, again, don't hesitate to comment below and I'll do my very best to answer them and offer any advice that you may need. This is obviously a fairly technical job compared to some of the others that I've done on my vehicles, but it's nothing that you can't easily achieve on your driveway at home, as you saw in my video.